So, what don't people know?
Mm,
What don't people know about Virginia Black Restaurant Experience? How we got here?
yeah.
How you became a sister slash partner? What
Mhm.
don't people know about Kelly? So let's talk a little bit about that.
I think what people don't know is that, this was intentional work, right? Were, all of us were on different pages about how we were going to help Black entrepreneurs, right? But our start was okay, what was the lowest hanging fruit?
Hmm.
And it was food,
Hmm.
right? I was over at Mama J's. I had not even thought about like fully diving into this media world.
Hmm.
But what I did know was that the Black owned things, people, places, and things
Hmm.
weren't getting the same sort of recognition that everybody else was, right? And again, 9 years ago, the fact that it's been 9 years and we literally had to start something just to make these spaces an option,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if we thought or we knew what it was going to grow into, right? But what we did know and what we continue to see is the support, the excitement,
Hmm.
the opportunity.
Hmm.
I don't know how many Black, especially, and I'm going to say men,
Hmm.
were even thinking about being chefs.
Hmm. Hmm.
They were always like, well, I can be a sous chef or I can be your prep person,
Yeah.
but never the title of chef,
Right.
right? And it allowed for them to be like, no, I'm a chef. I might not have been went to culinary school, but I cook really good. I
Hmm.
know how to run this kitchen efficiently. I am producing good product. And that's all that it takes. So to hear when we get together and we get the owners together and they're
Hmm.
like chef,
Yeah.
chef,
Yeah, they do.
I mean, and it's that respect.
Yeah.
It's to see them, and back to kind of like us and you and I, to see us evolve it, to see um you know us think about what's next for these chefs, these owners, these brands,
Hmm.
these businesses. I think that people don't know how many times we're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is bigger than us.
And to that, sometimes I think people forget that we too are a business,
Hmm.
right? A
Hmm.
business that was crafted and created for the support of other businesses. I'll tell you personally, if something had to keep me up at night,
Hmm.
is to make sure that we get it right,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
right now, there are at least 50 businesses between brick and mortar restaurants and our support
Yeah.
teams that they know when the first and second week of March is coming.
Yeah.
They know that we are kind of kicking off festival season.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
Um,
love that. You
I
love that
do.
we are the official
I
start of
do.
festival season.
I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
I do. It is by definition a festival.
Yeah.
But like the seriousness of it. And I love that you and I approach things very much in a creative way,
Yeah.
but in a visionary way too. Like the fact that 50 businesses
Hmm.
with employees of 5 to 10 to sometimes 20 or more, that is hundreds
Yeah.
of people. So when I quote that we generate thousands and thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, it's the people part.
Yeah.
I think people forget that it's a 365-day responsibility to
Hmm.
make sure that our Black businesses are seen, heard, and patronized, not just in March,
Yeah.
intentionally not in February,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you think that people see us that way?
Now, I
Okay.
don't think they saw. I mean, again, we were called racist.
Yeah.
We still kind of are
Yeah.
sometimes when they,
I
they get
mean,
on they get on Facebook and they're like, "What if there was white restaurant week?"
it is.
There is,
There is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I think I'm past that. I am
Mm-hmm.
over that part now,
Mm-hmm.
where you and I have even talked about what's next,
Mm-hmm.
and what's next doesn't have to look Black.
Mm-hmm.
We're very strong. We stand in the Blackness,
Mm-hmm.
so we that doesn't have to be as forward anymore. It's about culture.
Mm-hmm.
When we go to these other cities, as we travel, around the state, yeah, we acknowledge and look for Black, but we also look for culture. We
Mm-hmm.
look for all things, and so I think that because we are intentional about marketing and promotion, and that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get the calls about so and so's, business was. We, no.
Like we the
Was it
black, yo,
but
we
but
not the black
but
Kelly.
was it Pat?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Pat.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah.
mark. We
Yeah.
did our job.
Yeah.
We did our job. We even have been cautious, and maybe to a fault, to say that business isn't ready.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's not that we can make or break these businesses, is that we know we do a good job of making sure people know about
Mhm.
the businesses that we support through our network. And so we just want to make sure that they're ready as well.
So we offer these soft skills, right,
Hmm.
of marketing, and just collaborative, intentional marketing. What does it mean to you about having sets of keys? What does it mean from a legacy perspective to be able to have black ownership, not just of the 40 or 50 brands that we represent,
Hmm.
but this new thing?
Yeah. The new thing scares me. And I'm going to be honest.
Hmm.
I wasn't excited as you all were.
Hmm.
And I think that it it took you more so to get me
Hmm.
excited about it,
Hmm.
because you have been very, steadfast on, nah, Lemon, we getting these keys.
Hmm.
Nah, we about, do this thing. And to be honest, I think it's God's plan too.
Hmm.
As we look at how we leave our legacy
Hmm.
or how we retire
Hmm.
in these
Hmm.
next couple months, we retire to go work for that.
Yeah.
If it ain't that piece of land, trust and believe, it's going to be a piece of land.
Yeah.
We are going to hold multiple sets of keys. And it kind of goes back to, why we decided to start 6495 Foundation,
Hmm.
because we need the teens to hear from us. We need the teens to see us. We need to be those examples of, no, neither one of us are from Richmond, but this is where we're gonna leave our mark
Hmm.
in this state, and you too can do it. And also, you to be very honest, we've watched other people less smarter than us do
I
it.
know that's real. So look, is black.
So,
So what's the difference in gentrification when it's us? When we decide that we need to have representation in areas of the city and areas of the state that have typically been non-minority.
mhm.
How does that work from a wealth creation? How does that work from an acceptance perspective? And how important is it? Should we stay incubated in our own communities, or should we be on both sides of this river and both sides of the interstate?
Everything. We should be on everything. I mean, at this point, I think that we have completely justified and got the resumes to back anything that we do right now. I often, in some conversations that have happened recently, felt like I had to put a suit on and remind people,
Mhm.
and you as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
We don't brag because we're humble, and we now have to.
Yeah, I think if it's true, it's not a brag.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking about facts and receipts to support that. And so Kelly, I don't know if I've ever told you how intentional and unintentional it was. Like, we kind of socially knew each other,
Yeah.
right? 10 years ago, right? We socially, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right. I don't believe in our crystal balls this was a part of my whiteboard or my vision plan. I
Mm-mm.
don't know, but I am so thankful
Yeah.
that we complement each other,
Yeah.
like in a real way, in an authentic way. It's not
That part.
overly forced. It's not, oh, we show up in black, we
Mm-mm.
do, it's
Mm-mm.
not. It's
Mm-mm.
like a very easy lift.
Mhm.
And so if I had to retire and go into my whole black job, I'm
Yeah.
glad it's with you.
And me too, Mom. Because look, again, we got code
Yeah,
names
yeah,
because
yeah,
again, I've said this. I don't know if 2 years ago I was gun ho on this,
yeah. Hmm.
and as I looked at how we rebranded and how we have decided on this foundation and put a focus to this,
Hmm.
and also, like you said, are speaking our truths
Yeah,
now. I don't know
yeah,
if I was speaking my truths.
yeah,
I also had to get rid of some other things
yeah.
that were lessons
Mhm, mhm.
that
That's
prepared
real.
me to be in this type of relationship with you,
Yeah,
that, like you said, it's a business partnership, but it's a sister girl
yeah,
partnership. And I think now I've never laughed and found as much joy
yeah,
as I have with doing this now. And
yeah.
that's the important. That's how you know all right, we gonna be all right. Through it all,
Yep.
we gonna be all right. I know your kids are gonna be okay. You know my niece and nephew are gonna be okay. We are now, forget those millions, we are now turning to these billions.
Mhm.
Because we know what shoulders we're standing on. We know what those ancestors have done already. We know the legacies we come from our parents, as well. So it's time to be intentional about how this meaningful
Mhm.
work looks.
So, and I'll say this and we can wrap up. So, I said to you recently, like, Kelly, we kind of lean young, but we're kind of OGs and we can stand in that. You talk a lot about being, about listening to the ancestors and the ancestors whispering to us.
Mhm,
But what about being an elder,
mhm,
right? Because I see everybody sees you as dope and
mhm,
different,
mhm,
being a cool girl,
mhm.
right? And we can hold on to some of that. But what does it mean to be a model example and lean into both sides
Yeah.
of being an example as well for Black women?
Let me give a big shout out to Dr. Ron Bagat.
Okay.
So I'll never forget, he made me do a meditation where I was searching for some things, and he said, once you give it up to seven
Mm-hmm.
that came before you,
Mm-hmm.
but don't forget about the seven that's coming after you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the ones that are after us that I'm really really focused on now. Like, am I saying their names? Am I not taking opportunities because I know that they deserve that opportunity now? So like you said, it is very important for me to kind of fall into the elder place. I think that elder place also allows me to dream. They are the doers and the drivers, and I talk about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm falling into the dream, so I can literally pick up the phone and call one of the seven younger ancestors and
Yeah.
say, hey y'all, this is an idea I have, executed. Or what do I need to do to help you execute it? Or hey, what if you added this thing, because I'm in these boardrooms and I'm hearing what's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to lean into that true auntie, that true elder, it feels good.
And you look good, girl.
You
You know what
too,
I'm
mama.
saying?
Look, you too. Like, it
You know what
feels
I'm saying?
good. And again, your work with the Urban League, your work with the city of Petersburg, your work with women who lead in general. What you doing with that?
It's
Where?
going.
Okay, okay, okay. Anyway, just in terms of, same question for you. Like, you built this kind of org brand of, like, you are always making sure your hands are in things,
Mhm.
and silently the Olivia Pope in a weird way around here that people really don't know about. But
Yeah, see, you
but
better ask about me,
but
but not really.
in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
same
yeah, yeah,
thing, how are you feeling about the legacy that
yeah. Mhm.
we are about to leave, not only with Virginia Black Restaurant Experience, 6495 Foundation, but the keys
Yeah,
as well, because that real estate thing is about to be our next big play.
yeah. So at any given point, and we bear witness to this, when the phone rings, I call it a one ring test. Who can I call and they answer on one ring, and who can call me and I answer on one ring? And that really touches every segment of the city, every segment of the state. And I'm just speaking facts,
Yeah.
right? So we have to be actively involved in politics and sports and entrepreneurship and real estate development, land, honey.
Mm-hmm.
They not building
He
no more of
no
that.
more. And
No
God
more
is
of
not
that.
making no more. Yeah.
No more. So that's when we refer to keys. That's really what it's about. Um, it's been a major sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of times that I had to order pizza for my kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's been a lot of late nights. It's been a lot of early mornings. It's been a lot of putting the cause before myself.
Yeah.
And then really just having an incredible faith that I would not be in this space unless I was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what people also don't know is that we love some orange and blue. And I really lean into that, right? Because I'm like, wow, our educational
Mm-hmm.
experiences were different, but that it wasn't,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
It was different that they wanted that we went to state universities, one on the 64 corridor, one on the
Mm-hmm.
95 corridor,
Mm-hmm.
that has some commonality, but that is still rooted in us,
Yeah.
right? And so the fact that you took up a non-black space through
Mm-hmm.
education and
Mm-hmm.
I leaned into black spaces through education, and then we both met here in the
Mhm.
same. And I just think that it's not by happenstance. I
Mhm.
know it's not by circumstance. And the last 9 years, we done cried, laughed, bled, stumped our toe,
Mhm.
learned
Mhm.
along the way. We've lifted and we had to let go. And I'm so excited about what the next 9 years
Mhm.
will bring too.
The only thing I'm gonna ask from you,
Mm.
we're gonna hire staff. Okay, we're gonna get out the way. Okay, all right, we're gonna hire staff.
All right, so Kelly's hiring. Kelly's hiring.
We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, Kelly's hiring,
Yes,
and I'll be somewhere looking cute.
that's it.
I'm gonna learn how to do that. You know that there is something about us being able to figure out it's time
Mhm.
to release. And
Mhm.
I told you privately that like I really had to learn to open up
Mhm.
my hands
Mhm.
and know
Mhm.
that we doing the work. And I also still, we talk about people giving grace to our restaurant owners and to our other business owners. But I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
this has been a OJT. There
Yeah.
is no manual, but
Mm-mm.
I think that we are creating a blueprint for others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we got to get out the way. We started the thing and now like I really would like to see how maybe the next generation evolves Virginia Black restaurant experience. We got
Mhm,
the foundation. We need to put our hands on the foundation, but how does the next generation
mhm,
evolve Virginia Black restaurant experience?
mhm.
That's going to be our next
Mhm.
challenge.
I'll put a number on it.
Mhm.
I'll put a I'll put a number on it and tell y'all for the right amount.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. So it is, Kelly. This has been. I really for several months, maybe even years. I'm like Kelly. Maybe we should have a different kind of conversation. So I'm
Hmm.
glad that we took
Could
15, took 5 out of our day
to
to
do
just
this.
be able to chop it up with each
I
other.
don't like when you interview me though. Like it makes
Mm-hmm.
me nervous.
Okay,
Yeah.
6, 8, and 12.
Mm-mm. Wait,
6, 8, and 12.
or just Virginia Video Network, courtesy of Lee, Virginia. All right, that's it.
Bye, y'all. Follow us on Insta and all those
Yes,
things. Yeah.
yes. The rebrand's coming.
But right now, the Kelli Lemon,
Hmm.
and she calls me ma,
Hmm.
whatever.
There it is.